Welcome to day 2 of our series on understanding child abuse and the legal protections in Nigeria. Now, some of you might have been abusing children in Nigeria. You might not know. Now, this is why we are taking you through these courses or through these laws, for you to understand what you might be doing that is wrong. And now we are going to be diving deeper into some of these laws enacted by the Nigerian government, such as the VAPP Act of 2015 and the Labour Act, which protects children all over Nigeria. Now, if you're a parent, an advocate, or someone who is just curious to know these laws, stick with us as we explain these laws and make you understand these laws and create a safer space for our children in Nigeria. Thank you, and let's get straight into this. Now, we are going to be discussing the VAPP Act of the 2015, and which is the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. The VAPP Act is a gender-based violence law passed to address broad range of abuses, including that of children. It's particularly strong in covering emotional and psychological harm. Now, let's go to the relevant legal protection, which is the Section 2, which declares acts of violence, including child abuse, as criminal. And Section 23 prohibits physical violence with a penalty of up to 5 years imprisonment. What does this mean? If you abuse a child physically, you are a criminal. And what is the result of that? You are going to go to jail for 5 years. So if you are doing it now is the time to end it. So if you don't want to go to jail for 5 years, because we are looking at all of you. Let's continue. Section 24 and 25. This has to do with the emotional and the psychological aspect. This outlaws the emotional and the psychological abuse. And now the final one, Section 31 to 37. This bans all harmful traditional practices against children, such as early child marriage and female genital cutting. We call it cutting in our organization and not mutilation. If you want to know more about that, go to our website. You see articles on that, and that is CYPFnigeria.com. Now, early child marriage is a big issue in Nigeria. We're not going to go deep into that because we are talking about the laws. But then there are a lot of people that practices this across the country. But then these are laws that protect children, because we need to protect our children. They need to go to schools. And once you get married to a child that is below the age, that is below 18, now you are going to destroy the child's life. Now let's go to the Trafficking in Persons Prohibition Enforcement and Administration Act of 2015. This was enacted by the NAPTIP, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons. And this was enacted to combat human trafficking, particularly the vulnerable population. And who do we regard as the vulnerable population? That population is the women and the children in Nigeria. Now, there are basically just 3 laws, relevant legal provisions, in these laws. And the first one is Section 13, which criminalizes child trafficking for any form of exploitation. And let me tell you something you don't know. If you are doing this, you are liable to 14+ years imprisonment in jail. Now, I'm in Abuja. Kuje is not far. The prison is not far. If you continue doing this, it's either you go to Kuje or you go to Kirikiri in Lagos. So stop this. Now to the next one. This is an important issue. Section 16. This deals with child pornography. For those of you that watch child pornography or film children, this is very bad, and the law prohibits this. So if you continue and we catch you, like I said earlier, Kirikiri, Kuje is not far. That's where you are going to. Now, to the last one, Section 21 to 24. This establishes protection and rehabilitation for child victims. Now, if you don't take care of children that have been abused, or you don't do it appropriately, or you are just misusing funds given to you, you are going to go to jail. It's not only police that will come for you. We can call EFCC for you because of this one. So stop all these things that you are doing. Now to the final one for today, and that is the Labour Act. This is very important to us in the month of May. Why? Because we are combating child labor in Nigeria, and this is very important. Now, this regulates employment practices and prohibits child law that is exploitative and hazardous to the child's health, the child's development, to the child's education. Now, this law is for those of you that will not send your children to school When they are supposed to be in school, you send them to go and sell something, sell pure water, sell orange, sell food. Now, we understand that Nigeria is a very difficult place right now, but that does not mean you should deprive your child or your children from education, from development. Now, let me tell you what is going to happen to you if you do this. In this Labour Act, in section 59, subsection 1, it forbids employing children under the age of 12. For those of you that have house help, for housemaid, and you employ them and they are under the age of 12, send them back to their village, to their parents. Now, before we know, I will come for you, because this law is protecting that child that you are keeping in your house that is below the age of 12. If you don't want to go to jail, I don't want to mention Kuje or Kirikiri again, because it's not far. They will just take you to court and send you there. Now to the last one, and that is section 59, subsection 4. This allows light work under conditions but bans hazardous jobs for minors under 18. What does hazardous works mean? This means when you send children to factories, to quarries, to break stones, to do jobs that adults are supposed to be doing, and adults are people above the age of 18. Now imagine you sending a child to do the job of someone who is in the 30s or in the 40s. That is very bad, and this law is coming for you. I know some of you are watching this thing and you are doing this. I know, but please stop it. That's why we are here to educate you. You might not know that what you are doing is wrong, but this is why we are doing this 3-day series, and this is day 2. You can go back to watch day 1. If you are just seeing day 2, you can go back to watch day 1 and understand what this is. And this is from experiences. We've met children, we've handled cases in our organization that are very, very bad, and a lot of people don't know that they were doing these things, and they don't know about the laws until when they got caught. So for you not to get caught, for you not to end up in Kuje, for you not to end up in Kirikiri prison, please learn these laws, know what you are doing that is wrong. And thank you, and see you in day 3. No, I'm still the one that will show in day 3. Now, see you in day 3. Thank you, and see you in day 3 once again.